Hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of the Irish Whip podcast. I'm your host Ben, accompanied as always by my co-host Darren.
Yeah.
This is our NXT Takeover Dallas review.
Yeah, we cut this out because
it would have been a 2-hour fucking podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, NXT Takeover, much better show than WrestleMania.
Yep, definitely. Infinitely better.
So
there was 4 matches? 5 matches?
There was 5, yeah. So
altogether.
Ran for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was so good. The only problem I had was that it was on at 3 a.m. here.
Yeah.
So I was up until like 6 a.m. afterwards.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah.
First match was American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable versus The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder.
Yeah.
For the NXT Tag Team titles.
Yeah. It's good.
Great match.
Yeah, really good match. I fucking love the Revival's old school tactics.
Yeah, they are. They've turned like stopping their opponents from tagging into
a gimmick.
Yeah, it's and they're so good at it. It's like an art form.
Yeah, my favorite spot of the match is Dash or Dawson. I can't remember which one.
Dawson is the bald one, I think.
When he climbs under the ring.
That was Dash.
Yeah,
goes under the ring
and grabs
Jordan's legs and just pulls him down
to stop him from getting the hot tag. I fucking love that spot.
So different from like tag matches you see on the main roster.
That's because these guys are talented.
They're talented, but like they use tag team moves, if you know what I mean. Like there's 2 men doing a move, whereas like in the main roster, like
you get the Dudleys who do a Dudley drop.
Yeah, like Dudleys.
Like New Day are a great tag team, but they don't have a tag team finisher.
Generally, it's like you shoulder block them into the corner, and the other guy tags in and then punches them in the face, and then you're out.
Yeah.
Whereas the Revival more so. American Alpha are good at like the double team moves, but
they're good at mat wrestling.
But like the Revival, I don't know, they just get it.
Yeah.
Like if you hear there's going to be a tag match on Raw, it doesn't matter who's in it, you're not excited for it.
Yeah.
But like if I would watch the Revival in a tag match with anyone like all day.
Because you're so good.
So the story of the match was the Revival
are arseholes.
Yeah, stopping Jason Jordan, or not Jason, Chad Gable from getting the tag.
Yeah.
Just cutting them off in as many inventive ways as they possibly can.
Like I said, the under the rope thing is my favourite of the lot of them.
There was a spot earlier on where they go for a double suplex on Jordan.
Yeah, and botch it. Is this the botch?
No, we'll get to that. They're going for like a double suplex onto Chad Gable, and Jason Jordan catches him and puts him down, and then they do like a double drop kick, double German suplex, double back body drop sequence, and it was awesome. The botch you're talking about is where one of them has Chad Gable up in a powerbomb spot. Yeah. And the other is, I don't know what the other guy was supposed to do.
He's probably going for like a clothesline or something.
And they mistime it.
Yeah.
And the crowd are just chanting Botchamania.
Yeah. And the Revival are like acknowledging the Botchamania chant as well. Botchamania getting a lot of groundswell in WWE this month.
Yeah. Getting lots of shout-outs.
Yeah.
The match ends with American Alpha. I think Jason Jordan is in, and Chad Gable gets a blind tag.
Yeah.
And they hit their finisher, the backdrop into
a code breaker kind of thing.
No, that's the Revival. The Revival have a flapjack into a code breaker.
Yeah.
The shatter machine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if American Alpha have an official name, but it's like a backdrop into like a German suplex spin.
Oh yeah.
And that's
like they just pass the guy off to each other.
Yeah, and that's how it ends.
It's pretty good.
Really good match. Probably like the most underrated match of the weekend, like including Mania. Like no one's gonna remember this, but it was a great match.
Yeah. After the match was Corbin. Was it Corbin?
Yeah, Corbin versus Austin Aries.
Yeah, which is probably the worst match of NXT.
Yeah. Corbin comes out in like this weird vest thing with like plastic skulls glued to like his shoulders. Yeah. And he had like a bone spine going down his back. It was a little bit over designed.
He was taking ideas from your man, the Hunter in Lucha Underground.
King Cuerno.
Yeah.
This was I don't know. Wasn't a great match.
No. It was a bit of a dull show.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dud. Austin Aries.
Like for the most part, the match was a beatdown.
Yeah, Corbin beating down Austin Aries. There's a spot where Corbin hits him with like the deep six on the outside. Yeah. And Aries has to beat the 10 count, and I'm convinced he didn't. And the ref was just like, 9. Yeah, match kind of ended out nowhere with
or just a roll up pin.
Yeah.
Aries wins.
Corbin
goes up to the main roster.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a shame because Aries is a really good wrestler,
but he didn't do anything during this match. He just like,
that's what the problem is Aries is really good, but he didn't get to do anything.
Yeah, this match was like 15 minutes long, and Austin Aries spent 13 minutes on his back.
Yeah.
So there was like even a nerve hold during this match.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's not the best. You can avoid it.
Yeah. Like
lead to a match you shouldn't avoid.
I will say though, Baron Corbin had like the best gimmick for NXT.
Yeah, he's shouting at indies.
Yeah, just the indie darling killer gimmick.
Go back to Ring of Honor.
When I'm done with you, you'll be at the conventions beside Virgil, just hoping people recognize you. But yeah.
Not a good match.
No, forgettable. Shame that it was Austin Aries' debut match.
Because Austin is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll lead into the match you shouldn't miss.
The match that I've seen like 6 times now.
And I've seen about 10 times.
So next match was Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
In Nakamura's debut.
Do you find people pronounce Shinsuke's name wrong?
I
don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong or if they're pronouncing it wrong, but they pronounce it Shinsuke.
Well, there's a U in it, but the U is silent.
Yeah. It's the same way with Asuka.
Yeah.
When they pronounce it Asuka. But yeah, so Sami Zayn's like final match in NXT. And Shinsuke's first match in NXT.
I don't know how to describe this match.
So like Sami enters and he gets a big pop.
Yeah. And then
Shinsuke enters.
The lights go out, and then they cut to like a red screen with his name, and it's just like his silhouette in front of it.
He's got such a good entrance music. And everyone is losing their minds, and they're already chanting like match of the year before the two have even entered the ring.
Yeah. Shinsuke comes in, does like his rope thing. Yeah. And everyone loses their shit.
Yeah. You know, we laugh about, but when we see him in June, we'll lose our minds when that happens as well.
Yeah, we should say we're going to NXT Takeover in Dublin.
On June 14th.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like him. It's either a toss-up between Nakamura or Enzo for most charismatic guy in WWE.
Shinsuke was charismatic without even having to say a word.
Yeah. So I guess that says a lot for him.
So our friends who don't watch wrestling, was wondering if Shinsuke had no upper teeth, and we had to explain that he was wearing a mouth guard because he stiffs a lot of guys, and they'll probably stiff him back.
Yeah.
And match, he knows it.
Yeah. This match was stiff as hell.
Yeah.
There was like everyone remembers like the forearm exchange that went on for like
that'll go down in history.
Just them trading forearm shots
for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, just like stiff slap in the face forearm shots to the point where Zayn accidentally busts Nakamura's nose.
Yeah.
And Nakamura gave him a receipt for that. So like Zayn hits him and Nakamura goes down holding his nose, and then
comes back up with just blood.
comes back up with blood and just like lays it into Zayn.
The thing that I thought was cool was that when you see Shinsuke stiff Sammy, you can tell he's stiff Sammy because Sammy is reacting like a real person would be if he just got kicked in the face.
Yeah. There was they fought until Nakamura knocked Zayn into the ropes.
Yeah.
And he just started booting him in the head.
Yeah.
And then
then Zayn
then he notices like the blood and he just wipes it off and licks it.
Yeah. And then goes in, starts like mud hole stomping Zayn into the ropes. Zayn kind of half leaves the ropes, and Shinsuke starts kicking Zayn in the head outside.
Yeah.
And then the ref kind of calls Shinsuke away to clean the blood off his nose. Which leads to a bit of strong style from Sammy when he comes back.
Yeah.
Shinsuke goes for like some sort of running move. Probably the knee.
Yeah.
But Sami Zayn
just
wallops him with a fucking clothesline.
There's so
many good spots in this match.
There was like the Michinoku driver out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think that was the first one.
Yeah.
When Zayn rebounds off the ropes after getting kicked and...
Nakamura bounces off the ropes and Zayn just grabs him and Michinoku driver.
Yeah, fucking destroys him.
Yeah.
Like lands him square on his neck.
There was like the plancha Zayn did.
I don't know how stiff that was, but Nakamura sold that like death. He like crunched his neck up so hard.
There was like the top rope senton that Zayn did as well, where he basically missed Nakamura.
Yeah.
Gets back in and hits him with a crossbody.
Yeah.
Gets a 2 count.
Zayn hits him with like two amazing clotheslines. Like rips him inside out clotheslines. Nakamura ends up in the ropes. And Zayn starts giving him his own strong style.
Yeah, starts booting him in the head. Starts putting Nakamura in the head.
Like I was saying to you, you can tell when someone's like working off the cuff because they like slip up a bit.
Yeah. When
they're fighting, and Zayn slips up while he's kicking Nakamura in the face.
There was also like when Nakamura got the triangle choke onto Zayn, and Zayn just like powers up and stands up, but he can't get him off, so he just starts kicking Nakamura in the head.
Not even kick, he
just stomps on him. Yeah.
Starts stomping on his face so he let go. Like the spots we're calling are probably all out of order. Yeah, they're all. This is just how I'm remembering. Yeah. From like the coolest spot to like the still cool but not as cool. So like Sami Zayn goes for his DDT through the corner. And
Nakamura just kicks him in the head. Fuck you, fuck your spot, buddy.
There's a part where Sami Zayn goes to give him a hell of a kick, and he misses. And I'm pretty sure if he hit him with that kick, he would have knocked his head clean off of his body. No, because Sami's in the corner and Nakamura's beating on him, and Nakamura runs to the other corner to. Yeah, and Sammy follows quickly behind.
Yeah. Like if you listen back, you can hear Sammy screaming Shinsuke. Yeah, to warn Nakamura about this.
Because he wasn't going to let up on that kick.
No, he went for it.
He was going to murder him with that kick.
And Nakamura hit like a suplex out of that. Yeah. But yeah. Nakamura, he's kind of like a Japanese Shawn Michaels who fights like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
It's
ridiculous. And I can't think of any other great spots. There's obviously 2 or 3 I'm missing.
I think we covered most of this.
Of the good ones.
Yeah, but this match was great.
Yeah. It ends with Shinsuke hits Sammy with the, what's it called now?
The Kinshasa.
The Kinshasa knee. Changed after the Boomye, because obviously they can't have the the move named after
Kill Him.
Yeah, the Kill Him knee. It's now named after where Rumble in the Jungle took place.
Yeah.
Hits him with the knee. It didn't look that great from the camera.
No, I've seen like a fan.
Yeah.
They put up like a slow-mo of it, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, but the camera for the NXT didn't make it look that great. It cut just as he hit him with the knee.
Yeah, WWE's camera work was not as good.
Way to go, Kevin Dunn.
I don't even know if he works on that.
He does. He works on NXT.
Okay.
Way to go, Kevin Dunn. Yeah, hits him with the Boomye. I prefer like when he hits him, the guy's like prone on the ground. I kind of prefer that one.
Yeah. To
when the guy's standing. It looks a lot more brutal. Hits him with the knee. Everyone goes wild. Shinsuke celebrates for a bit. Then goes over and shakes Sami Zayn's hand. Leaves so Sami Zayn can get like the last bit of glory, considering everyone knew he was leaving afterwards.
Yeah.
It was very emotional. Like, I was emotional after this match. It was so good. I was texting people who don't watch wrestling, and I was just telling them like I'm nearly crying with how good this fight is. Probably one of the best matches this year.
Yeah. Definitely the best match I've seen so far in WWE.
In WWE
this year.
The AJ Styles versus Nakamura match at Wrestle
Kingdom 10.
Yeah, is probably a little bit better. But in terms of WWE matches, it's probably the best they've had all year.
Yeah. Easily the best of the weekend.
Yeah. That leads to Asuka versus Bayley.
Yeah, for the NXT
The
Women's
problem
title.
now was every match afterwards had to follow.
Yeah.
And kind of, it was a bit dull.
I mean,
because we had just seen
the match of the year.
It was a good match though.
It was good. It just happened to be in the dead spot.
Yeah.
Like I would have put Corbin versus Aries
in this dead spot
because
no one cared.
Because that match was, it was a turd anyway.
Yeah. So Asuka Bayley. Asuka is like the best wrestler in WWE, I'd consider. I would definitely say she's one of the greatest in WWE right now.
Yeah, she's definitely like up there.
I'd put her in top 5 of the best.
Yeah, it's like AJ, Shinsuke, Asuka, Cesaro, and Rollins are like the best in WWE.
I'd put Zayn in there maybe before Cesaro, but like that list would still say the same.
Yeah, I can. Make that argument.
Zayn's had consistently great matches. Like his 3-count match with Cesaro.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, he's had like some of the greatest matches in WWE in like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And when he wasn't in Ring of Honor, fucking amazing matches versus Kevin Owens. Like, I've never seen him really have a bad match since he got to like PWG.
Yeah, someone put up that NXT has had 7 20-minute plus matches on the takeovers, and Zayn has been in 5 of them.
Yeah. So Asuka and Bayley have their fight. It's really good.
Yeah. It was the story of the match was that Bayley just couldn't counter Asuka's skill as a wrestler.
Yeah. Asuka's still undefeated.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the thing going into it. Asuka's undefeated and she's a beast when it comes to submission moves. I can't really remember much spots for it because I was reeling from the match before.
There was let's see, it started with, what do I remember from it? I remember
a lot of the submissions more than I remember anything else.
Yeah, I remember Asuka going for some kicks and Bayley caught her leg and turned it into like a knee bar.
Yeah.
That was cool. Asuka.
I remember Bayley catches her with that like front sleeper holds thing.
Yeah.
That she does. I don't know what it's called.
It's like a guillotine choke.
Yeah. I remember there was like a rest spot kind of with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly a lot of submissions more than anything else. There wasn't like big spots in the match.
It was them trading back and forth, trying to put submissions on each other.
Yeah.
Ended up with Asuka getting in the Asuka lock.
Yeah.
And Bayley passed out.
Yeah. You were heartbroken.
I was. Yeah.
I was so happy that Asuka won. But then once I saw Bayley upset, I was like, oh no.
Stop, please.
Once she lost, I realised how upset the younger women wrestlers were. Or not the younger wrestlers, the younger fans of Bayley were. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I don't know, Bayley, she's able to connect with people.
Yeah.
It's kind of, there isn't really someone that you can compare her to. Kind of, I guess Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Because he connected with everyone.
Yeah, by just being nice.
Yeah. Like, she seems like a nice human being who loves wrestling. And like, then she loses. You're like, no.
Please don't hurt her. But yeah, Asuka won current NXT Women's Champion. Don't know what that leads to. NXT this week didn't have like a proper NXT. It was like a rewind show.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. We're gonna get a rematch.
Yeah,
and if Bayley wins, or if it's like a draw, then we get like a best of three type thing. And I think that's what their third match will be. It'll be a 2 out of 3 falls match.
I imagine Bayley will be the first one to beat Asuka.
I think their next match could end in like a double DQ, double count out type thing, where Bayley gets some good shots in, but she can't win. Yeah. And then depending on whether or not they bring her up to the main roster, they do a 2 out of 3 falls. Yeah. And this is just me pulling this out of my arse. This is just how I book it. If they want to bring Bayley up, then Asuka wins. Yeah. If they want Bayley to stay down there, then lean towards Bayley winning. Yeah. It was a good match, just in like the worst possible
location
spot on the show. Yeah.
And then that leads to the main event.
Yeah.
Balor versus Joe.
It was also a good match. It was a better match than I was expecting.
Yeah. Even if it had the little problem.
Yeah, the blood.
So Finn Balor comes out with a chainsaw. Yeah. We were trying to figure out for the longest time what his like gimmick for it will be. Yeah. And then I didn't realise until the next day it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, he wasn't wearing a skin face mask.
He just came out with the chainsaw and started swinging it around.
It's like I said, he needs to lose like the dreads for that.
I'm still on all over the dreads.
I mean, but like for that entrance, he should have wore like a mask thing.
Yeah, so that's like the big entrance. Finn Balor comes out with the chainsaw. I like his little like demon thing with the belt. Yeah, where he like doesn't really know what the belt is. He just takes it.
It's just shiny.
Yeah. And he did like the Bullet Club thing when he was entering the hand signal, that thing. He did that before he went to pick up the belt. Yeah, he's constantly teasing it. Constantly. There's a picture of him at a house show like 2 nights ago where he's holding up a sign saying, "Where is Anderson and Gallows? Bullet Club for life."
One of them tweeted back to him and was like, "Soon, boy. Yeah. Soon." So very start of this match, Joe goes in and gives Balor like a knee to the gut, and they clonk heads.
Yeah.
And Joe splits himself open.
Yeah, splits his eyebrow open.
And there's just like blood pouring out of his head.
And the Stephanie does not look impressed.
No. Joe gets they take it outside. Joe chucks Balor over the railings and
murders a security guard.
Yeah, that security guard did not see that coming. And Balor lands on a security guy who was sitting down behind the
ramp
barrier that they couldn't see. So
fucking destroys him.
So Joe goes and he gets like a towel to wipe the blood off, and then the ref comes up and he tries to wipe it off, and Joe's just like, nah, I'm having none of this.
Yeah.
I'll wipe this blood off if I want.
Like, that's what made this match really good as well, was that Joe looked he was legitimately pissed, and that worked well with what he was doing, because he just manhandled Balor for half of the show.
Joe looked like a fucking monster.
Yeah, because he was manhandling him, like when he threw him into the guardrail, and the guardrail moves like 10 feet back.
There was the ringside was covered in blood.
Yeah.
Joe was covered in blood. Balor was covered in blood.
Not
Joe's blood.
Yeah, not his blood. But
Joe ended up getting like 6 stitches.
Yeah, the only problem with the match was that they had to stop it so many times to make sure he wasn't,
because they weren't like what you do in a situation like that is like you hold it to some like a towel or whatever to get it stop bleeding for a little bit, then you get like a handful of Vaseline and you rub it all over his face, and they just kept wiping the blood off him and wiping, and like 5 or 6 times before they sent the doctor out with some Vaseline just to like stop that from bleeding.
Yeah, it didn't stop it just thinned the blood.
No, it didn't stop it, but it did stop it from like spurting out like a fountain. It turned a river into like a small trickle.
Yeah. So it was like a good brawl match more than anything. It's what that match is what Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar should have been like.
Yep.
Just the two of them beating the shit out of each other.
Yep. Swap Balor for Ambrose and Joe for Lesnar.
Yeah.
And just you can still have
Lesnar win.
Yep, but Ambrose still looks good.
Yeah. What other spots were happening in the match?
There was a chant "fuck PG."
Yeah, which Shane's children got involved in.
Yep. Linda McMahon, stone face beside them.
Zombieing it up. And the other chance of like let him bleed and stuff.
And Joe was just like, yeah, let me bleed.
I can only really remember the ending and the savage like gut buster that Joe pulls out.
Yeah, Balor, I think he goes to do a coup de grace and Joe pops up.
Yeah.
And punches him a couple of times and hits him with the gut buster or muscle buster.
Yeah.
That was the only finisher that was kicked out of the entire night.
Yeah.
So they fight back up and Balor starts to hulk up. And Joe gets him in the sleeper, the coquina clutch.
Yeah. And
Balor starts to fade down and then starts to hulk up again and does the run over the turnbuckle spot that Bret Hart used to do.
Yeah.
And gets the 3 count.
Yeah.
So Balor retains and Joe is just like shocked
and furious.
This is probably the end of their feud now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Joe's had 2 swings at the title, so I don't see why he should get another.
Yeah.
And NXT work in a realm where logic applies to situations.
Pretty much.
So they have a show in Japan coming up soon. So maybe Nakamura or a returning Itami gets.
It seems like it seems like, looking at the house show, Nakamura is the guy who's going to go up against Balor right now. Looking at like house show pictures, that's just Balor and Nakamura in the ring.
Well, they were tagging.
Yeah, but it seems like that could be what could happen. Like some sort of thing like that.
They'll do good business in Japan if they have Nakamura versus Balor.
Yeah.
They'll do good business anywhere if they have Nakamura versus Balor.
Yeah, we bought our tickets to Dublin just for the idea of seeing Nakamura.
Overall, excellent show.
Yeah. Better than Mania.
Much better than Mania.
Better than like the last 3 Manias.
Last year's Mania wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too bad, but it's no candlestick to fucking this takeover.
Like if you came to me and were like, "Ben, do you want to watch Mania 31 again?" I'd be like, "No." And you'd say, "Well, okay, then we'll watch Mania 32." I'd be like, "No, we'll watch Mania 31."
Yeah, but if I said, "Hey Ben, do you want to watch Mania 31? Or do you want to watch Shinsuke Nakamura fight Sami Zayn again?"
6 times. Yeah, I think I know which one I'd choose. So I guess that about wraps it up. Yeah. It's been a shorter episode, but yeah, deal with it.
Well, we if we hadn't, this would have been 2 hours long added on to the other podcast, and it's better that we have this as its own separate thing. Yeah,
no 7-hour spectaculars here. Thanks everyone for listening to episode 11 of the Irish Whip podcast. I've been your host Ben, accompanied as always by my co-host Darren. You can follow us on Twitter at Irish Whipcast. Check out our Facebook page, Irish Whip Podcast, and our YouTube, Irish Whip Podcast. See you whenever. Probably around Payback. Yeah. Unless we have a really, really good Raw.
Yeah, unless something amazing happens in 2 days.
Yeah, doubt it.